What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle. Welcome back to part 2 of the skills tier list. So, took a nice break in between videos, and we are at Jester. Yes. Okay, so we're at Jester. We're gonna go through these skills, and we're gonna do like a top 10, bottom 10. I don't know if these are gonna be like out of all the S tier and stuff like that, but I definitely want to pick ones I like that are also good. So let's start with Jester. Jester and Dirk Stab. Yeah. So Dirk Stab, I have it in C. It's good for moving forward. The hit under guard thing is kind of whatever, who cares? But not a bad move. Good to set up Finale, that's its primary purpose. Harvest is B. It has that weird mid-range cleave that I don't like, but Bleed is a pretty good damage over time type. You know, especially more things are affected by Bleed than Blight. There's more Bleed synergy out there, so it's pretty good. Finale is A. It's really good to get Jester back, so that's a fourth move that can move backwards that I forgot about. It does a ton of damage. It's really good against killing bosses. You can fire it early to kill enemies in hallway and room battles. Pretty good. The only thing that sucks, you have to charge it up and then get them into position for it, but it's still solid. Solo. Put in B. I'm going to put it in C. So the reason Solo is in C is the buffs are good, the forward movement is good, you can hit it twice to get a really strong Finale. All those things are cool. It's really just no tempo gain. Like, it's not a huge tempo gain, so it's kind of whatever. It's nice when you get to dodge and draw fire with it, but those instances aren't like super common, so it's okay. Slice Off is A. Really good single target move, has a huge crit modifier, and just does some solid damage overall, plus bleed damage. Really good. Battle Ballad. This is a contender for like a double S type of skill. This is so broken. Like, one shot of this is giving your characters each like 2 extra trinkets almost in terms of stats. And then you can stack it up to 3 times. Very stupid. And it's actually more balanced that you can't use it once about a battle, surprisingly, because if it was something that you could use once, I know this is like an opinion a lot of people don't agree with, but I'm gonna try and justify it. So if you used it once in a battle, and let's say it was like 15 accuracy and like all the other stats were a little bit stronger, then Jester could spend the rest of the fight just spamming Stress Heal, because you have to look at what else you would gain out of that. So it's actually more balanced by having to refresh than hitting it once, and I still don't like it in either iteration. It's just too strong, but that's something else. Alright, next is Inspiring Tune. This is, I think, S. It's a just really strong ability overall. It's really good efficient point or stress point healing. It's also got that buff on top, which is kind of nice, and it boosts pretty well with other effects, so that's cool. Who's this, Leper? It is Leper. Chop. Nothing to write home about, just Leper has really good base damage, the accuracy is kind of crap, crit modifiers aren't that high. Hue is, I would say, C. You could argue it's trash. It's usually better to just hit Chop or like Intimidate than it is to hit Hue. So the more I've played Leper, the more this is the skill that I take off first. So maybe you agree with that, maybe you don't. Purge, B. It's better to clear corpses, so Leper can hit more stuff. I think it's accuracy, but it's got that rank restriction, so it's not that good, but it could be better. Revenge is S. Gives Leper crit damage. It's crit, right? Crit damage, accuracy, and then damage taken. This makes Leper fulfill his boss killing role very well. Oftentimes against bosses, if they're vulnerable to like just direct damage, then you bring Leper, you hit this once, and Leper is good for the entire fight. He carries your entire damage with this move. It's not that good in hallway fights, but in boss battles, it gets so much value. Very powerful. Withstand is also S. This lets Leper resist pretty much everything that comes at him. And then if you want to use Self-Mark to draw fire, it's really good at that. So you have someone that has a ton of protection, a ton of resists, and they're taking all of that focus fire. Really good. Just good overall. And kind of usable in hallway fights. Not like Revenge, which is kind of boss restricted. This is definitely better for bosses, but it's still okay in hallway fights. Solemnity Another S tier move, kind of making me rethink my leper placement, my original tier list. Solemnity is so busted. It heals a lot in terms of HP and stress, and there are plenty of times that you don't want to hit stuff with leper in a hallway fight because his damage stat is so high and you want to stall, and this lets you stall and it gets so much value. And it's one of the few stall moves that can actually outpace the enemy hitting you in a lot of cases. Like a dedicated stress attack is going to do more than this, but like secondary stress effects or on-hit damage and stuff like that, Solemnity actually keeps up with it pretty well, which is very surprising. Intimidate, another S tier. Intimidate is a move I came to late, a lot like Bleed Out. It's got a lot of value. It lowers speed, it lowers their damage. Both those are really good. Leper can chip down like rank 4 for 5 damage at a time, which is pretty nice, and it de-stealths. Just really good move overall. Sorry about that. The allergies are starting to get to me. I even take allergy meds, but I'm getting crushed today. Speaking of crush, we have Man-at-Arms. So Crush, I didn't like this move that much at first, but I'm actually going to put it in A. And that's just because it has reach into rank 3, which is where his, like, not good damage stat actually does okay. So Crush is pretty solid. I actually think I should be using it more. Rampart, another A move. Stun's just really good on this, and knockback, and dancing. So it's a lot of value for different situations in one move. I like it quite a bit. Bellow, I used to not like Bellow, but even Bellow is starting to grow on me. And that's just because you have these situations, especially in like Torchless. Torchless is changing my opinion on quite a few things. But like, you get these situations where you surprise the enemy team, and then you bellow them, and you basically surprise them a second time, because they're going after you no matter what, in like, most cases. Only super fast things can still keep up ahead of like your slow characters, but really, really strong. I can't justify S because it still has to make an accuracy check and a debuff check, which sucks, and the crit bonus against Mark is just not that good. But for the minus speed alone, I think it's A. And then the minus dodge helps out too, so it's all pretty good. Guard, this is the best guard in the game. It's S tier. It lasts for a couple turns. It's prot stacking, so all that's really good. Keeps Man-at-Arms alive pretty effectively against some enemies that hit super hard. There are a couple bosses. Like, there are 3 different missions in the game where it's like 2 bosses and an endgame mission where Guard is MVP. And in those terms, Man-at-Arms is also MVP. So really good. Can fit into pretty much any team, very welcome. So Guard's really good skill. Riposte, I'm gonna make it A. So what is this? Retribution? Yeah. The damage modifiers kind of suck. Man-at-Arms doesn't hit that hard, but he's only like 1 point behind Highwayman, which isn't that bad. And any extra action economy is welcome, so it's still pretty good. And then you have the Mark to draw fire, and that synergizes with guarding, so you use Retribution and then guard and then Retribution again, so it's not bad. Command, where did I put command? Hey, it's command. Command's pretty good, so I like this a lot more. There's a dog barking, but I like this the more I use Man-at-Arms. It's definitely better than Bolster in a lot of hallway fights, and crit and accuracy. Name a better duo. Then you get like bonus damage on top if someone's guarded, which means you can take like Houndmaster and guard someone for bonus damage, or Protect Me with Antiquarian for bonus damage. It's not just Man-at-Arms guarding someone, it says if guarded, so it should work. Like any hero that has a guard buff means they get this damage buff, and that's pretty freaking good. Bolster has fallen out of favor with me. I'm going to put it in B. It's really good for a dodge comp. The minus stress is kind of okay, but ever since Bolster lost speed, it's actually been not that good. And you don't really want this in hallway fights. Usually Bellow or Command are just better, so this is kind of relegated to boss missions, but in the bosses you want Man-at-Arms, he should be guarding and stuff, so it's kind of hard to weave this in. So I actually don't like Bolster as much as I used to. Occultist, one of my personal favorites. Sack Stab is B. Accuracy kind of sucks, and for other stuff Occultist can be doing, he has better moves to be using than Stab, but Stab's okay when it gets value. And then it has damage against Eldritch, and I think I mentioned the accuracy being bad, but you can use it from rank 3 to hit 3, and that's good. That's good enough. So you could argue A on that alone, but I'm going to leave it in B. And Spaghetti Blast, or Roof Spaghetti, is B. It's a cleave, it gets damage bonus against Eldritch, but it's not strong enough. Occultist has like really low base damage, it's 7 to 13 I think. So there's better stuff you could be doing. Like if I want to crush a backline, I'll use something like Plague Doctor, either 2 Plague Doctors or PD Flagellants, or like Iron Swan to hit backlines. I don't need cleave. I don't need backline cleave, especially weak backline cleave. So it's nice for the Eldritch killing. I could put it in C, honestly. I'm gonna leave it in B, but it could be C. Weakening Curse should be S, right? Where'd I put it? Yes. Really powerful move, especially later on. So this just lowers enemy damage by a flat amount and protection. And lowering protection is really good for most heroes that can't armor pierce. So just very powerful effect. And then stacking this with something like Intimidate means that certain bosses and stuff that do really big on-hit damage effectively do much less. And that's really powerful. So being able to stack this makes it really good. And it has a pretty high crit modifier. So you can actually stress heal a little bit with it and get some bonus damage, which is pretty cool. So we have Reconstruction. This is A. You could argue it's B, but it's definitely... Okay, so now the dogs are over. But as far as Reconstruction goes, I forget where my point was. You know, sometimes it can zero or hit for 0 and bleed you, which sucks, but then it can, you know, hit for pretty high. It consistently does good enough that I can't say it's terrible, but I can't say it's good because it's inconsistent, so I hope that makes sense. The Vulnerability Hex, where is this? Okay. Couldn't even see it in my notes. A. It's probably B, honestly. This is not... Like, this is an okay mark. It's okay. It's good enough, right? Like, breaking down their dodge is pretty good, but that's about all it has. I think it has a pretty good crit rate, too. So it crits pretty often. That's nice. Otherwise, as far as marks go, it's okay, but usually reducing protection gets you more than reducing dodge. Hands of the Abyss. This is our Stygian's Embrace. Hands of the Abyss is S tier. This move is so disgusting. This is the best stun in the game. Even with the torch penalty and highlight, this is still amazing. With trinkets, you can break I think you can get up to 220 for stun chance if you crit, and that's very powerful. That can double stun easily. It can triple stun a lot of enemies. That's nuts. And it also hits pretty, like, okay in terms of damage, like 3 to 5 or something. And then the crit modifier is so high, especially with Cauldron, that this becomes a stress healing move. And it hits rank 3. And you can use it from 1 and 2. That's really freaking good. Use Frontline Occultist. People tell me they don't. It's like, just do it. Just put them up front, dude. Spam hands. Join us. Join the cult of Hands from the Abyss Occultist. Abyss Occultist. Damon's Pull. A? Shuff, did you drink? No. A? A. Yeah, it's A. It's okay. It clears corpses. That's pretty nice. I wish it would clear corpses and then pull, because that could mean you can kill like 2 things and then, or 1 thing, and pull any backliner up to rank 1, but it doesn't do that. It pulls first, so that kind of makes it weaker, but it has dual purpose in that regard, and you can use it from 3 spots, so all that's pretty nice. It's PD Chan. So we have Noxious Blast, that lowers accuracy. This is Plague Doctor, by the way, in case you don't know PD Chan. But yeah, Noxious Blast lowers accuracy, really high blight damage, pretty good. I think it's 5 out of the box, which is pretty powerful. Plague Grenade, where did I put this? Cleaves are usually not that good, but Plague Doctor can rotate this and Blinding Gas for very powerful effects, and then you can stack other damage over time or Iron Swan and stuff on top of it. I think it's really good. Blinding Gas is S. So good they had to nerf it to 3 uses of battle, but it's double stun. That's powerful enough. P's a fast character, so she can get this out really quickly in battle. And being able to stop 2 people from hitting you on turn 1 is just very, very good. And then it slows down the whole fight. You can get rid of the enemies up front or stun the enemies up front after and then do all your damage. So it's a very good move. Incision. Incision is B. Just because PD has other buttons she'd rather be hitting. But like as the skill itself goes, She has low base damage. The bleed on hit is okay, but this move really needs Bloody Herb to get going. And then, even though the on hit damage is solid and the bleed's okay, you can argue that it does do more damage than Noxious overall. But you have to remember too that you're swinging into enemies that have the highest protection values up front, so that kind of diminishes the on hit damage. So, like, you hit for, let's see, you hit them on hit for like 5 if we're being generous, and they have like 50 prot, something like that. And then you bleed them for 12, that's 17. If I hit them with Noxious, that's still 21 damage. So the only time that this is really worth using is if they're blight immune, or if you can really juice up her melee damage to be very good, or lower prot. That's when it's good. But if you're just swinging into stuff that has like 40, 50 prot, it's not as good as it could be. So, Battlefield Medicine. This is another S tier. This move cures damage over time on 2 people. I don't know why it heals Plague Doctor, no matter who else gets this. I think that's very good. That might be an oversight, but it cures Blight and Bleed. So if you like do the math on it and be like, okay, I got hit for a 3-point Blight over 3 turns, that's 9 damage. And then you heal them for 2. You healed 11 damage with 1 move. That is very powerful. So the fact this can heal 2 people at the same time is really good against enemies that have like cleave damage over time, or if there's just a lot of damage over time on the enemy team. And it's just good. It's really good. I can't say enough good about it. It's a very powerful ability. Vapors is A. This is not a hallway move. This is a boss move. So if you are in a boss fight where your stuns aren't going to be as good, or Bleed and Blight are kind of secondary for PD to be doing, you can hit them with Vapors and just buff them up and just have really powerful characters. You can just drop 2 on 1 person or 1 on 2, and they're all fast and they just do more damage. So it's good in that instance, but you're not taking this to hallway fights. Disorienting. Did put it in S. So it clears corpses, which is pretty nice. It can do the flashbang thing where it can throw someone from the back to the front, or I guess from the front to the back in some cases if you hit rank 2. It's good enough. The fact that it hits rank 2 makes it S tier. If it hit rank 3 and 4 only, I put it in A. But it's good overall. And this is a really nice flex pick if PD has nothing else that you want to put on for a dungeon. You can put this on, and then it's really good. Even if you don't have Blinding Gas, this can replace it. There are some instances where Disorienting can replace Blinding, and that's actually good. So Shield Breaker, I gotta scroll down. Shield Breaker pierces S. The reach is stupid. It armor pierces. It has like a small damage penalty on Shield Breaker's massive damage stat. I don't know why. It can hit everything. It's dumb. It's pierce. Puncture, also S, because you can use this in rank 1. You can use it in rank 4 to get back up to 3, which is nice. It guard breaks. It lowers speed for some reason. Like, why? It does okay damage on hit, and it pulls stuff out of position. This move does so much in, like, one ability. Adder's Kiss. I'm going to put it in S. I wanted to put it in A, but the damage overall from this move is really good. There's no damage penalty. It has a high damage over time effect. It's good. It's better than Pierce in a lot of instances. It's just Pierce as reach. That's why it's usually better to just take Pierce. And Pierce also keeps you in rank 1, so it's flexible that way. Impale. Impale has 2 ratings. If Impale is not level 2 or 3 or whatever it is, where it gets Blight, it's C. It's just a weak cleave. If it does have Blight, then it's A. Because Shieldbreaker has a massive damage stat, so cleaving the entire enemy team for no joke, like 5 to 10, and then blighting all of them for like 1 or 2 points, really freaking good. So if you run a cleave setup or like double Shieldbreaker, this gets even stronger, and you can wipe out full teams in like, no joke, 2 turns. That's how strong this move can be if it's set up properly. Its weakness of being rank 1 only is kind of an easy fix with a lot of characters that can move forward. So if you try and set up Impale to just get massive spam value, then it's amazing. It's a really good move when it's, leveled up. Expose, it's B. The stats are good. Like, the crits received is nice because it's not tied to a stupid move like Grapeshot Blast. It removes stealth, which is nice. It can hit rank 4. That's my one issue with this move. If it could hit rank 4, I'd put it in A. But rank 4 is where a lot of stealth enemies like to chill, or like they eventually get back to. So that's kind of like missed opportunity. I don't know why you can't hit everything. But otherwise, it's solid. It's a pretty good move. It's super niche. You know, I've talked about other niche stuff like Caltrops, but like the niche for Expose is almost too niche to justify in a lot of cases, because there's still ways around stealth. Like you could cleave enemies with attacks if they're in stealth, or you can just do other stuff while you wait for the stealth to come off, so it's not that big a deal. It's really good against the horse. I'll say that much. Captivate, did I really... Damn, I'm running out of space. So, Captivate, it's B. The effects are nice. The Blight's pretty strong. The Mark synergy's good. It's just the targeting and where she can use it from that's kind of bad. If she could hit rank 1 from like rank 2 with it, then it'd be a lot better, but she can't do that, so I'm going to leave it in B. And then Serpent Sway is... It's B. The ability to block stuff is really nice, but it doesn't block secondary effects. So even if you block, you still get hit with bleed, you still get hit with blight, you still get hit with stress, debuffs, moves, all that, which makes it not as strong. Plus also any 1 damage chip move can start breaking the guards, or like taking the Aegis off, which sucks. So instead of being able to block Tree Branch Smackdown, which is what you would be thinking, what ends up happening is you block, and then Cultist Witch hits you for 1 with stressful incantation, and that breaks 1 of your Aegis. And that's kind of bad. So I think it can only be B. The speed boost is kind of nice though. Vestal, Bonk, aka Mace Bash, is B. It's just solid. It's an on-hit move. It's got Unholy Synergy, woohoo. Judgment, I put it in A. I could probably put this in S, honestly. It's a really good move. It has reach. She can only use it in rank 3 and 4. That's why I'm not putting it in S. But it does damage. Damage penalty sucks. It heals, so it's 2 chances to get some kind of crit. It's pretty nice overall. The stun is... It's A. It reaches rank 3. You can use that on rank 2. That's good enough. It's not too high in terms of stun chance, and also gives you torch. It's not bad. The single heal... I'm going to put it in A. I was going to put it in B originally. It's good enough. It needs trinkets. That's its issue. Occultist does not need healing trinkets. Vestal does. So that's why I almost don't want to put it in A. But I'm going to put it in A just because it's consistent. And I put Battle Heal in A because of the reach, even though it's weaker. I think I can put this in A because it's consistent, strong healing. Group Heal is S. This is why you take Vestal. You don't take her for the single heal, you take her for this. The group heal is why she outclasses most healers. The ability to heal multiple people off a death's door at the same time, incredible. She can use it out of rank 2 as well, which means that rank 2 Vestal is viable just because she has this as an emergency button. So it's a really good move. It needs trinkets. Level 1 of this is really crappy, but level 5 is very good. Illumination, this might be one of the worst skills in the game. It probably is. Like, why? Again, can't hit rank 4. Why? Like, it's already bad enough. Why can't it hit rank 4? Like, I would rather stun something that I could see than take stealth off something that is faster than me, that probably got 1 turn off already. And Vestal's not that fast either. So you're taking stealth off something that isn't a pink fish. It has already gone before you, so that's already 1 turn of stealth gone. And Vestal's going at the end of the turn or near the end of the turn after your damage dealers have gone. So you're not getting any stealth removal value. This move is garbage. It's actual garbage. This might be the worst skill in the game. It could be. It's either that or like Trickery. It's one of those two. Or maybe the Mark. But this move is really bad. Like, there's no defense of this move that I can conceive. Hand of Light. Good. Vestal struggles with accuracy and crit if she wants to go damage. Those are the 2 things she needs. Her damage... Wait. Yeah, accuracy and crit. Her base damage is kind of crap, but this fixes that. And it lasts 3 turns. So, pretty nice. I guess that's all the skills. So let me take a sec here. I'm going to zoom out. Zoom out twice. There we go. So I'm going to zoom out twice here, and then I'm going to make I'm going to take a second to think of a top 10 and a bottom 10, and then we'll close out this video. Alright, I'm going to be honest, the top 10 was harder to pick than the bottom 10 because we had more choices. I was surprised how many S tiers we ended up with. So I'm going to start with the bottom 10. No surprise. I'm just going to throw all the trash tiers in here. So Aardmark is garbage. Zealous is garbage. Suffer's garbage. Toxin's garbage. Grapeshot's garbage. Illumination is the worst skill in the game. I would bet money this is the worst skill in the game. Everything else in this list I can find a justification for. Even if it's a bad justification, I can find one. I cannot find a justification for this move. It's crap. So there's my harsh analysis here. And then we get to pick out of the C tier, which is kind of nice. So for the rest of these, flashing, there's no particular order, by the way. So flashing is just really bad in a lot of cases. Bulwark, oops, like the benefits are nice, but it's just, it's not good enough. You know, no, I'm gonna switch this. It's solo, right? No, you know what? No, I press solo more than I press bulwark, so I'm gonna leave bulwark here, and then lick wounds. Houndmaster has other buttons that are really good, and this is just not enough value compared to other self heals. Like, this is not better than Absolution. This is nowhere close to Solemnity. Like, there's no reason to press this button in a lot of cases. And there are times you are better off pressing guard to try and dodge something than you are pressing this. That's when it gets kind of silly. So that's 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bola. Yeah, Bola's garbage too. So there you go. That's your bottom 10. So we'll do top 10, but we'll keep it interesting. Let's do the honorable mentions first. Let's see. Let's add a row below. We'll change it to be this color, and we'll call it top 10 honorables. Okay. So these are our top 10 honorable mentions. There's only 3 of them, because I want to keep it kind of short and sweet. The first is Lunge. As much as I love Grave Robber, this move is really good, but I don't know if I can justify it as a top 10 move. Like, is it a top 10 damage move? Arguably. I guess that's why it's up there, but I think the other ones I chose instead are gonna be more apparent. Intimidate, this move is really good. It kind of grew on me the more I used it, and the more you start using it, the more uses you can find for it, and it's just good overall. I like it. Let's see, Defender. This was really hard to not put in the top 10, and you could argue it's still in top 10. I mean, it's good. It's very good, and there are a few fights in the game where it wins, and that's pretty nice. So it's good. It's good value, but I think the other moves are just better that I'm about to place in the 10. So again, no particular order. First, we're going to start with Reclaim. This move is absolutely nuts. Can heal from anywhere. Healing over time is incredibly powerful. It's 3 chances to crit heal, so that's 3 chances to hit the 12% to reduce stress. And that's also really good. Plus, it lets you manipulate Flagellant's HP, so he can get down to low health and use his buffs and his other really good moves. Let's see what else is next. Ballad. This move is so dumb. Please nothing this potent in DD2. It's so strong. Like, it's better. It's almost better to hit this over Inspiring Tune in like every case, just because you kill enemies faster. And this is a good buff for every character in the game. Everyone wants this, and it hits the entire party. And the fact that it hits the entire party means that no one gets left behind, unless they're afflicted, obviously. So it's just so much value in one button. And it stress heals better than Tune in a lot of cases too. It's so stupid. Because you kill them quicker and then you get more crits, and that's more stress healing. What the hell? Target Whistle, best mark in the game. Has a built-in debuff amulet. I don't know if I have to say more than that. It's overstated. The chance is way too high. And it's too good. It's a very good move. Solemnity. So this is the reason Leper can solo dungeons and stuff like that. This move, he can actually heal off his own stress and not die at the same time. Like, if he gets afflicted, he can Solemnity down to 0. That's how powerful this move is, and he can survive while doing it. Definitely fit for a king. Hands from the Abyss, we're gonna use the Stygians again. Hands from the Abyss, best stun in the game. Really powerful, hits everything. That's not rank 4. Massive crit modifier. With trinkets, it becomes actually broken. Super good. Duelist Advance, this is the action economy king. It's better than Retribution because it has movement potential and has better on-hit damage. And the same reach. So that's really good. All you have to do is get this to hit like once or twice per round, like in terms of the riposte. And the action economy is just unfair. It's really good. Then you stack Protect Me on top of it, and it's even better. Surprisingly, I did not put Protect Me in the top 10. I thought about it. Maybe I should have. So we have Bleed Out. I didn't like this move at first either, but the damage potential, like the damage ceiling of this move is ridiculous. It does like a 5-point bleed at max. It has huge crit modifier, huge damage modifier. It does a feedback loop with Hellion, where her crit buff is bleed damage or damage against bleeding targets. It just feeds itself. It's incredible. You get someone up to rank 1, you spam this, they're gone. They're gone in like 4 turns. Even boss is gone in like 4 turns. It's incredibly powerful how good this move is. Or incredibly good. Or ridiculous. I don't even know. I'm tripping over my own words to explain how good this move is. It's ridiculous. Got that weird pause every time I have to look back over. Okay. We only have 2 more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did I miscount again? No, I missed one. That's what it is. Blinding Gas. 2 turns for 1? Yeah, I'll take it. On someone that's like one of the quickest stunners in the game? Yeah, I'll take it. Really good. Like, it had to get nerfed. And even then, 3 shots of it, usually enough. So we have Bandage, surprisingly. Arb, I would argue, is the second best healer in the game. It's either her or Flagellant, but it depends on what level Flagellant is. And even then, at level 6, with rank 5 moves, this still keeps up with a lot of single target, like other single target heals. And it makes Reclaim better, if you want to use Reclaim too at the same time. But it's good. It makes every other heal that comes after it better. And the healing received buff helps to buff food healing after battle. Very powerful effect to have. So don't sleep on Bandage. Arb is a single, like a solo healer in a lot of parties. Spamming Bandage, huge value, really good move. Pierce. Is that our last one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was kind of tough to pick a 10th move. There are a lot of good contenders, even outside of these 3, but Pierce is stupid. It's got that reach. It ignores armor. It can be used in every zone against like any target. It just doesn't care. It hits everything. Why does this move exist? And I accidentally right-clicked while I was talking, but whatever. So, incredible. Just stupid move. Lets level 6 Shield Breaker go into every single zone and Farmstead and just be effective. It's the reason that between this and Puncture, it's why Shield Breaker is so effective in Farmstead, because you can just handle any situation with 2 moves. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, consider following all the social media stuff. So jump in on Twitch, Discord, support on Patreon, all that stuff. I don't know what the next tier list is yet. I haven't decided, but I have to look at what's out there. And yeah, thanks for watching. Antiquarian Guide soon. About halfway through that one. More Team of the Week videos coming up. And I'm going to explain this in Team of the Week. Not Team of the Week. Viewer runs. So yeah, Team of the Week's coming up, but also the viewer runs. Please stop sending me Necromancer. I'm going to review all of the ones that I have, and I'm going to make this announcement repeatedly going forward, but stop sending me Necromancer. For the love of Raptor Jesus, please stop. Okay. I'll explain more later, but that's it. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here. I'll see you later.